what have you. And I really can't see without my glasses, so I apologize in advance for that. How's everyone doing tonight? Pretty good, pretty good. All right. So, what's the latest, guys? I understand I haven't been keeping up with Big Brother this season as much as I possibly and probably should. And that's okay. I just did a bunch of interviews on podcasts, not a bunch, a few podcasts not long ago. Chad Gracie, yo, what's up, buddy? How you doing, pal? All right. Hi, Daniel. How are you, pal? Hope you're doing good. Happy Wednesday. What's the latest, guys? So, what are you guys' thoughts on this season of Big Brother? Howdy, Chad. What's up, buddy? So this is going to be a new thing for me. This is my first going live, so I'm not really nervous because I'm just really talking to myself on the phone. Hoping that more people jump in. Hope you guys are having a good week. It's been crazy times in the last few weeks. I'm sure we can all agree with that. A lot of things in the news, not so great things in the news. But we're going to try to keep it positive here. And let me know if you guys have any questions or want to start a conversation. I like Ashley's game. I want her to win. All right, Daniel, I hear you. That's why I'm only doing this for like 15 minutes tonight or 12 minutes. I'm going to be, hey Ray, what's happening? I'm going to be watching the show tonight so I can get up on my game on Big Brother 27. Daniel, I'm gonna check out Ashley's game this evening. Guys, feel free to share if you want people to see this and get in on the action, so to speak. I do, Ray, Scala, I do keep in touch occasionally with Dr. Will. Not very often, it's mostly just through social media. We've texted back and forth over the years. We've messaged each other, on Instagram and things like that. He's doing very well, obviously, doing very well for himself. Hey, what's happening, Big Brother dude? Nice to see you. I appreciate that. Thank you, guys. Please make sure you guys so we can get more viewers in here. Bella, how are you? I'm your king from BB2, your favorite player. Well, thank you so very much. I really appreciate that. That's awesome. What's up, Yessie? How are you today? Thanks for joining us. Hey, Ray. My girlfriend I thought I was going to win too. Ray, I thought I was going to win too. So, hey, Yessie, thank you. I appreciate that, brother. Let's get those taps going. Let's get those likes going, guys. Yessie, I'm good, man. I'm in a great mood, great spirit. I'm looking forward to seeing the show tonight. Michelle, thank you so much. I appreciate that. You know, it's funny. A lot of the comments that I've recently got on my posts when I hooked up with Bunky and then went to New York and saw Monica. I got a lot of people that are saying they're watching the season now, or they just watched the season. Our season was on 24 years ago, and people are still watching it. So I love that. Would I ever play Big Brother again if they asked? Probably. It would have to depend on if the length of the season and if I was guaranteed a specific amount of money. I don't think I'd do it, just to, for the paltry like $1,000 a week that they give you. I'd have to have a guarantee. Let's see here. Yes, you watched my season with your mom as a kid. That's awesome, man. There's so many people that have actually commented that said they weren't even born. We actually did an event in New York, Bunky and Monica and I, in New York City. We did a watch party a couple weeks ago. And there's people there that were not even born, but they were fans of ours, that they've watched the show on Paramount and on YouTube. So that was really cool. Come on, guys, give me some taps. BB All-Stars Hardy. Actually, I was contacted about that for season 7, and I had just gotten a new position as the ambassador of the Opium Group, and I was not able to do that. So I did host one of the competitions that year, though. You might have seen that. I was doing the Mechanical Bull challenge that they had. I was bummed I didn't win too. Yes, I appreciate that. Thank you. Chad sent me. Well, Shannon, thank you for coming in. I appreciate it. Bella, you just rewatched the season. I'm glad you liked it. What was it that you liked the most about it? A lot of people are telling me that the game was a lot better back then than it is currently. I'm just interested to hear what you guys' thoughts on that are. For those of you that have seen the past show and are now currently watching the new seasons or the most recent seasons. Thank you, Ray. I appreciate that, buddy. Thanks, Jesse. You know what's funny? User 19686895121. One of my relatives actually asked me if I would be interested in doing the Traders. And as a matter of fact, they won an Emmy with Alan Cummings. They won an Emmy on Sunday for that show. So I would definitely do that. As a matter of fact, I did an interview with a young lady named Sharon Tharp on her podcast, and she asked me if I would do that. And apparently she knows the casting director, so I'm trying to get that lined up. So thanks for asking. Hey, gaming stuff. The stipend for BB All-Stars should be a ton. Well, we'll see, and we'll see if my phone rings. I'm not sure. I'm always game, and we'll see what happens. You know, I never say no to something before it's presented to me. I obviously like to get more information with my options. Stipend for BB All-Stars is $40K. Yeah, so my my salary for that job that I gave up the All-Star opportunity for, my salary is a lot more than that. Like 4 times more than that. So that's why I wasn't able to do it. And I absolutely love my job. Could you help me get on BB? Would love any advice on my audition tape. Well, the one thing that I would tell you is just be yourself, be authentic. So my advice would be definitely submit an audition tape. You got to kind of stand out from the crowd, but you want to be authentic. So you don't want to you don't want to seem like you're way off the deep end in any specific way, shape, or form. Do I still talk to Dr. Will or Nicole? I do keep in touch with Dr. Will. I haven't been in touch with Nicole for several years. Life just kind of takes us in a different direction, and I'm sure that they're busy. I'm busy. I'm sure Nicole's busy as well. And that sometimes happens. So that's why I was so happy to get together with Monica and Bunky, which is pretty awesome. And there's some videos on that on my channel or my page. What are your thoughts about the luxuries the house has now that your season doesn't have? A washer. Well, you know what, that would have been nice. I didn't like to do my wash by hand and then dry it with one of those things, one of those roller pins that you have to roll it through to dry it out. It's pretty crazy. So yeah, I'm happy that they have that. I wish I had that back in the day. You think this season is great how past players are showing up for comps? Yeah. Well, like I said, I did host an episode of All Stars, a competition way back when. This is like season 7, I think. I think house guests were a lot more entertaining. Yeah, that's what I keep hearing. That's a lot different. What's up, Maddie B? This season's, from what I understand, it is good. I'm actually going to watch it this evening, as I said. Hey, Jill Patrico, how are you? Thank you so much for joining us. Hey, Anthony, thank you for sharing, buddy. I've been watching since season 1. Love the older season still. I appreciate that. Thank you, Lola Lizzie 333. I really appreciate that. I'm glad you guys are really enjoying the seasons from way back. It's kind of crazy that people are still watching it this many years ago. What was it like playing with Will and Boogie? You know what? Honestly, I kind of like those guys, but they were just arrogant and cocky at the time when we were back in the day, 24 years ago. They've all kind of matured and kind of came around into their own. I just never really was drawn to people that thought that they were better than anybody else or held their heads above other people. I don't think cockiness and arrogance looks good on anybody that I've ever met, and they just kind of came off like that with me. Now, there's a lot of downtime that you guys didn't see, and Will and Boogie and I got together and hung out many times. They didn't really show that. They had to kind of create the dynamic that we're chill town and what have you. And for the most part, that was correct. Do you think Tom B's character type is the right move? You know what? Looking back on it, somebody asked me a question if I felt that the veto would have changed my game plan, and it probably would have back in the day. The thing is that some people want to just win the competitions. My goal is that if I'm in control and I have a strong partnership, that maybe we can kind of keep ourselves off of the list to be cut. So that was my play. But then again, when you do that, you have to rely on the abilities of other people, and you can't win head of household every week. Otherwise, I would have tried to anyway. So yeah, it's difficult to make that decision. You don't want to be a wallflower either, because people don't like people that just kind of sit around and don't draw attention to themselves. Those are the people that kind of get tossed out pretty quickly. What was it like being in the first strategic season? It was crazy. It really didn't kind of sink in until the first eviction. When Cheryl was evicted in my season P, that's when it was really on at that point. Is it true that you knew Janelle and Bo from Miami? Absolutely. As a matter of fact, Janelle was a VIP bottle service waitress for me at one of our nightclubs, RMG 0604. She was phenomenal. She was just a great personality, great person, just super sweetheart. Great to work with as well. She was a really great employee, and she was fun and smart. Bo is a character. I mean, every time I got together with him, we would see each other out many times in Miami. I was in the nightlife hospitality industry. He was like a fixture in the nightlife scene. So we would go out. He would come to my clubs. We would see each other. We would hang out. And when he got cast on Big Brother, I was like, oh my God. And Janelle as well. I was so excited for him. I didn't even know that they had auditioned. It's not something that we really discussed. Yes, I remember that lady that used your toothbrush to clean the toilet. Yeah, that was Shannon. That's not a very fond memory for me, as you might remember. But that's what it was. Ray Scott, the last question. I work in advertising. Would love to connect if you have any opportunities. Yeah, Ray. I'm not sure if you can send me a message, but what I'll do is I'll remember your name and I'll reach out to you and send you a message. Or you can just send me a message and we'll go from there. Cool? I appreciate that, Ray. Yes, it was wild. Has anyone taken your toothbrush? Well, here's the thing with that whole Shannon toothbrush incident. I have to tell you, in the contract, you're not allowed to destroy anyone's property or take anyone's property. And based on that, she should have been kicked off immediately. They never told me that she did it. They never made her tell me that she did it. They let her get away with basically lying to me and making up a story that she dropped it or it fell over when she was reaching for her hair curler or something like that. It's like PVC, like plastic, like hard. You'd have to like apply an extraordinary amount of force for it to break like that. But no, just suffice to say, no one's taken my toothbrush since Shannon, thank God. I think the repercussions would be pretty severe if that happened. Would you ever play again? Hey, Jackie, I think I would actually. It would depend on if there was a guaranteed amount and maybe a shortened season. I don't really have 3.5 months anymore in my life that I can just kind of give up everything that I'm currently doing and be away from my family. Lola Lizzie, I remember how mad I was at Shannon. Oh yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. I was pretty pissed off too. Shannon was something else. I will tell you, the one thing that's great about what happened with that is that when we had to fly out to LA for the finale, the commercial airlines weren't flying, so they actually had to send private jets to pick us all up. And they picked me up in Miami, and then we flew to Texas and picked up Shannon and I think Autumn. And she gave me a really nice apology card and apologized to me. And I thought that was awesome. So bygones be bygones. People make mistakes, and we were young back then, and not everyone was really using their head to kind of self-edit or be aware or self-aware of how they were being perceived. I was constantly aware of that because the one thing that my father told me when I told him I was going on the show, right, like a couple hours beforehand, my dad said to me, he goes, just remember, Hardy, they're always watching you. And I was like, okay. So I kept that in the back of my mind. That kind of helped me through it. I'm not sure who I want to win this season. I mean, the only person that really kind of stands out to me is Keanu. But I'm not really familiar with everyone's gameplay. Like I said, I am going to be watching tonight for sure. And I'm absolutely looking forward to that. Let's see here. Yes, I just seen your season oh, thank you, Brooke. I appreciate that. I hope you enjoyed it. Hardy, thoughts on being a sets symbol? Kioskiv? I'm not, I think you mean sex symbol. I definitely don't feel like I'm a sex symbol. Although back when I got off the show, there was a lot of people that were throwing that stuff around. And I obviously don't buy into that because, I don't believe my own BS, and just don't buy into that stuff where people get their head filled with themselves, and kind of start acting nuts. So that's not really my deal, but I appreciate that. If you feel that way, that's awesome. Thank you so much. Hey, breakfast at Tiffany's. How are you? Thank you so much for joining us. Hey, gaming and stuff. How would you have done in the VW if the wall comp happened? I'm not sure. I mean, I've got pretty good balance, but that's kind of crazy. I think you need like a lot of arm strength, which I have, but I have a lot of bulk too. Like I've got more weight to kind of hold. So that's kind of a toss up. That's a good question though. Hey, Tonsil Tickler. I like that name. What's up, man? Yeah. See, I love Janelle too. I haven't really kept in touch with her. I think she moved back to Minnesota, if I'm not mistaken. She was in Miami for a while after this show ended, but I think she's gotten married and maybe has kids now, or at least one child. Michelle, how are you? Let me see here. Were you? Yeah, that's correct. You're only able to bring literally like a suitcase and I think a duffel bag. They gave us a duffel bag from the show, and we put a bunch of our stuff from our suitcases in there, and then whatever couldn't fit, we were allowed to bring in later. I think they put it in the diary room where we had to go pick it up somewhere. Hey, what's happening? I'm manager for Think Loud. Oh, awesome. Breakfast at Tiffany's. Cool. Very nice to meet you as well. Kiosk, toothbrush, yeah. Oh, no. Yeah, see, that's no worries, buddy. You can bring up anything. That's why I'm here. Thank you so much. Arissa Bear 2122. I hope you enjoyed it as much as we enjoyed doing it. It's pretty cool that a lot of people are still watching after so many years, you know? I think the rules are implemented specifically for people who are liked by the audience. I don't know. I will tell you this. I've heard a lot of controversial things when I was with Bunky and a few other people up in New York. They were kind of intimated to me that there was specific competitions throughout the seasons, not on my season, where it felt like the producers were kind of pushing for one person to win a competition as opposed to others. I haven't really paid that much attention to the seasons from since I got off. I think I watched 2 or 3 seasons after I got off, but I'm gonna watch it tonight. Would I play Survivor? Ooh, probably not. And the reason for that is, Kioskiv, because I like to eat. Survivor, you're actually out there surviving. When you're on Big Brother, like the worst thing that can happen to you is like, what, the hot tub's not hot enough, and ooh, you know what I mean? Like, or they didn't give you enough protein, or protein bars or something. Like that was the biggest thing that my complaint was about. Having to make shelter and like forage for food and hunt food, probably not my forte. I don't think I do very well. I'm sure I'd lose a heck of a lot of weight as well. Meg, great question. Meg, and I'm sorry, RMGO604. What was my strategy and gameplay? Well, my first thing was not to stand out like a sore thumb, and to kind of get a lay of the land, to kind of keep my head down, obviously talk with everyone and be a part of everyone's circle. So you kind of cross-pollinate and you have a relationship with everyone. That way you don't seem like you're such a threat, because people have a difficult time throwing people off the show that they like. So I tried to be someone that was dynamic and engaging, and I would always talk to everyone and kind of include everyone as much as possible. That kind of fell off essentially when Shannon and Boogie and Will started trying to throw their weight around, and they tried to evict Cheryl. They tried to evict actually Nicole, and they made Cheryl a pawn, and Cheryl got evicted, and that kind of threw everything in their face. So it was game on from that moment on. It was us against them in my mind. Yeah, that is. Last questions I have to go. Would you ever do reindeer games? I would absolutely do reindeer games. Absolutely would. For sure. 100%. Yeah, Michelle, you're home for County 2. Well, we're going to see what's going on tonight. I'm looking forward to it. We'll see. Thank you, Michelle. I really appreciate that. Considering, I was 31 on the show and I'm 55 now, I like to feel like I've kind of aged somewhat gracefully, Just had to be a TikTok messenger. I got to head out. Ray, thank you so much, buddy. Thank you. I appreciate that. Maybe I will. We'll see what happens. Thank you. Hey, Brooke. Oh, thank you so much. I'm glad you liked the older seasons. And yeah, I get that a lot. I hear a lot of people saying that the older seasons, the original seasons, are a little bit better. So I appreciate that. I'm not a big fan of the most recent seasons. It seems like everyone's trying to play a character or fit a mold or and something along those lines. I don't see a lot of them being really authentic. Hey, I can't read the cursive name, but oh my gosh, Hardy. Oh, thank you. I'm glad you joined on. Thank you so much. Hey, Sam. I appreciate that, man. Thank you so much. A lot of people said that they thought I was going to win, and one of the questions that I actually had with Sharon Tharp, when I did an interview with her, she basically asked me, in the Final Four, who could you have beaten? And I had to tell her, I said, honestly, and I thought about this, there is no one I could beat. Keep in mind, I evicted three people. I evicted Kent, Bunky, and Shannon. And then in addition to that, Autumn was not a big fan of mine because she thought that I'd rallied votes to get her kicked out. So when it comes to Will, Nicole, or Monica, I don't think I would have won against any of them. I think it would have been second place at best. Thank you. Hey, Esha. Do you stay in touch with anyone else from season 2 besides Bunky and Monica? Every once in a while, I've gone back and forth, and not recently, but I've stayed in touch with Boogie off and on. When we got off the show, when he was doing right before season 7, before the All Stars, he and Will had opened a restaurant in LA, and at that point I had 5 nightclubs in Miami. Actually, no, 7 nightclubs: 4 in Miami, 1 in New York, and 2 in Las Vegas at the Planet Hollywood Casino. And so we crossed paths many times. I'd actually flown out to LA to go to one of Mike's nightclubs and to go to his restaurant, Geisha House, which is pretty cool. But I don't really keep that much in touch with them anymore. But again, I'm not opposed to it. I don't have anything against them. It's all water under the bridge. And it's amazing how people, as you get older, you kind of start to mature, and you look back and some of the things that we did and said we're probably a little embarrassed about and we wish we hadn't. But it's all part of living and growing up, I guess. Do I still remember the Yesteryear episode? Yeah, I do. RMGO604. I do remember that. That was pretty awesome, actually. I actually loved that experience. I got to hang out with the cast members of the show after the show. I think we actually even went out for dinner and drinks afterwards, which was a lot of fun. If it was Monica and Will in the final 2, would you have voted for... I would have voted for Monica to win. I wasn't, there was no way I was going to vote for Will. But keep in mind, if you remember, Monica and I, jeepers. Monica and I were in The Untouchables, so we had a little thing as well. My thoughts on BB27, I'm going to have more of an opinion this evening. I haven't really watched the series that much. I've seen a few episodes. I saw one 2 weeks ago when they did Eviction. That was pretty interesting. Cameron, well, what's up, big dog? How are you doing, buddy? So cool. I don't really talk to anyone else from BB2 user besides Monica Bunky and Dr. Will. Not, again, Mike Boogie every once in a while, but it's been a long time. I think he's back in Connecticut now. I think he left Los Angeles a while ago. Hey, Dylan Ketchum, what's up, buddy? This is your first time here? Dylan, this is my first time here too, man. Welcome. Glad to see you, brother. Let's see. Did I have any idea that no, but with regards to did I have any idea at the time that Will would be such a character? I will tell you, one of the reasons that I'd always put Will up against somebody that I really wanted out, and the reason that I did that was kind of just to kind of make it seem like I was trying to get him out too, because I kind of was. But the longer that it went on, he was one of the most entertaining people and one of the funnest people in the whole house to hang out with. Everyone else, not everyone else, but a lot of people are just boring. There's a lot of downtime, and we would come up with crazy ideas and do stuff in the downtime that they didn't show, just to keep ourselves entertained. And he was one of the reasons that the show I felt was interesting, and especially responsible for keeping me sane a little bit, because I had somebody that I can be kind of nutty with a little bit and have fun. Top 5 finest Big Brother. Oh, thank you, Bella. I appreciate that. Brianne, love seeing your alums from Maryland. I'm near Baltimore. Oh, sweet. Welcome. Yeah, I'm in Bel Air, Maryland. Do I still watch Big Brother? I'm going to watch tonight. Curtis, I'm going to watch this evening for sure. Michelle, Shannon was a mean girl. Yes, she was. But keep in mind, we were all young back then. A lot of waters came under the bridge. A lot of things have changed in people's lives. People get older, they get more mature, and they grow up. And I'm imagining that's probably the case with her as well. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. User. Thank you. What's my favorite season of Big... I'm going to have to say my season. I thought my season was pretty much the best, not just because I was in it, but because I lived it. And it's not quite the same when you're watching it from the outside in, unless you've actually been on it. It's an experience unlike anything else I've ever done. So yeah, but that's a great question. Marissa, who is my BB27 winner pick? I don't know all the players. I know that Keanu's still in there, and he's from Miami, and I was in Miami, so I'm going to go with him just for that at the moment. Like I said, I'm going to watch the show tonight, and I'll have hopefully better answers for you. Last time I spoke to Will, I messaged him probably like 3 or 4 months ago, maybe, something like that. Hi, Offbeat Zero. Hi, hope you're having a good night at work. Sam from New Orleans. Krista was one of my faves. Yeah, Krista was great. Yeah, she was one of my faves too. Her and Monica and I were in a thing called the Untouchables, so like a little like 3-person alliance. Thank you, MCW Forever. I appreciate that. I'd love to go back on. Would just have to depend on the circumstances. Thank you, Michael. I appreciate that, my friend. Thank you very much. Hey, Sam. Yes, we're human, and that's what I loved about y'all season. Yeah, you know, things change. People get older. They mature. You know, we were young back then. I wasn't really that young. I was 31. That's not necessarily that young. But certainly a lot of things have changed, thankfully, and all for the better. And for me, particularly, everything's changed for the better. And I will tell you that show had launched so many opportunities for me. When I got off the show, a lot of things started to happen very rapidly. In the hospitality industry in Miami, I became more and more recognized. I had the opportunity for people to put me in positions that I actually thrived in, and they were operational management, ownership positions. So that I was incredibly thankful for, and through that, I had met so many other incredible people and opened so many other doors. So it was an extraordinary experience for me. Hey, Jen Smith. Hey, and Andre wins F. Hey, Andre, how are you, buddy? Hey, Jen. Big fan of the OG seasons. I was lucky to meet. Oh, yeah, cool. Yeah. If you'd seen my video, you know that I just ran into Bunky. Not ran into him. He came to see me at my house, I think like a week or 2 ago. And I have some videos of that. And then we drove up to New York and saw Monica as well. Also, your seasons. Well, I will tell you, if you've ever seen the DR sessions with Will and with Boogie on All Stars, where they're doing ring ring, hey Boogie, what's up? Hey, what's up, Will? And they just go back and forth. It literally could have been a comedy sketch on Saturday Night Live. That's exactly what I thought when I was seeing it. I thought it was so creative and so funny and so well executed. I actually look forward to seeing just those. I think there's actually highlight reels that you could probably find of just those. Hey Marissa, the black hair dye was the move. That was not intentional. So I asked them to get me brown hair dye because my temples were coming in. As you can see, I'm gray. There's no more pepper left. It's pretty much all salt now. But they didn't get me. They didn't get me that color. They didn't get me the light brown. They got me black. And I thought, well, you know, if I put it in just for a little bit, it'll like not take as much, but boy, was I wrong. Yeah. And so there was a whole storyline where people thought I became like Bizarro Hardy or Evil Superman, something along those lines. And looking back on it, it was kind of shocking, the difference. And at that stage of the game, it made sense for them to take the characterization in that direction, because I started getting really anxious and I started like kind of not striking out at people, but like kind of like being a little bit more aggressive and assertive with people. And to be quite honest with you, I got a little full of myself as well. Thought I was a little bit too big for my britches. So it's not bad to get put in your place every once in a while. You know what I mean? Became number 3 fan. Oh, thank you. Hey, Jen Smith. Jen Smith, you're one of the managers. Awesome. How are you? For Think Loud. Very cool. Did I watch BB7? Lucas, I did watch BB7. I actually was on BB7. I wasn't on the show as a participant player. I actually hosted. They wanted me to be on. I had to turn them down because I had a better opportunity. But I did host a competition where it was the bull riding competition. Hey, Marissa. Yeah, thank you. Emo Hardy era was iconic. That's funny. Named Nick. Hey, bud. I just answered that a little bit ago, but I'll say that, you know, out of all the seasons, I have to say that I think mine was the best. And the reason I say it is because I was in it and I experienced it. Not because I thought that we were better than everyone else. It's just that it was much closer to home for me and much more personal. I'm great, Jen. Thank you so much. How was Kent? I loved his relationship with Bunky. You know what? Kent was absolutely awesome. I had such a high level of respect for him. And even when I nominated him, if you saw that nomination, I know there's some clips on TikTok that actually show and I'm tearing up and I'm crying, literally shedding tears from having to nominate him, because I did have such respect for him. I thought he was a great guy. Unfortunately, he passed away a while ago, and he's sadly missed. I know he was a great family man and a phenomenal father, and I had a whole lot of respect for him. Hey Sam, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Hey guys, I'm gonna be here for 2 more minutes, and then I've got to jump. Actually, you know what? I've got to jump now, guys. I will be back on soon, and I will make you all aware. Champagne Bussy, thank you so much. I am doing very well. Named Nick, the fair. Great to see you interact with the community again. Well, thank you so much. See you guys. I thank you guys so much for participating and joining the chat here. I hope you guys have a wonderful evening. Let's go watch the show. All right? Talk to you soon.